following podcast is recorded and produced by the Podcast Precinct in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com. The Podcast Precinct. Consistency, creativity, culture.
The Nostalgia Funhouse proudly dedicates all episodes in the loving memory of Connie Chirac. So, Johnny, I've been hearing really great things about this Nostalgia Funhouse. It just brings back so many great memories.
Andrew, the only reason I'm moving in line with you here is that you really vouched for this show. So I'm just going to believe you that this is the show that, I've been wanting, which is just talking about all the fun stuff from our yesteryear and the years before. And I really hate anything meta. So I'm glad that what we're doing right now is not that.
Oh, no, definitely. What is meta? Isn't that Ron Artest's new name?
Well, add World and Peace to it, sure.
Yeah, but this is great. They last year they were tearing play sets and Halloween costumes.
Well, that sounds cool.
They get these weird court recordings from pop culture courts.
Does anybody care about court cases?
These ones are kind of cool. They put Scott Kelvin on trial. Poor old Santa Claus there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, man. You know what's the best part about this is though? Is I hear they always got a really great sponsor. You can check it out right there.
Hello, welcome to the Nostalgia Funhouse. I'm Johnny. He's Andrew. Andrew, happy 100th day.
Yes, 100th episode of the Nostalgia Funhouse. We made it.
We did it. Yeah. There's a
It's
lot of
really
shows that don't get 100 episodes.
No, but we stuck with this. We're sticking with this.
Yeah, and I am proud to say we're the only podcast that has 100 episodes and is brave enough to put Venom in his place, which is behind J. Jonah Jameson.
I saw good old Gary T. What he said he was kind of triggered by this, so I'm gonna have to message him later on and be like, "What were you triggered by?" And when you listen, I'm pretty sure you heard us mention you a couple of times.
Yeah, we dare any other pop culture related podcast to be that brave.
I still think about it at least once a day that you refer to J. Jonah Jameson as the Bobby Heenan of the Spider-Man universe.
It tracks.
That still lives rent-free in my head. I'm just that was an amazing analogy.
Thank you. I get those every once in a while. I'll knock one out of the park like that. But yeah, episode 100. I'm pretty proud of us that we've done this.
Yeah.
We appreciate all you who've joined us on this journey, who listen to the show, who get annoyed with us when we make amazing, brave choices like we did last week. Hey, we're doing another tournament today. Could there be another J. Jonah Jameson hiding in the ranks here?
I don't know. I just know that Gary T is a great listener because even though he does get triggered by this, he doesn't make a big deal. He knows that it's just
just for fun.
It's just for fun.
Yeah, and we're a couple of goofs. So
yes, we are. And
Gary is very awesome. We appreciate you, Gary. But let's do this today. Of course, we're continuing our Spider-Man v. Batman month, and last week we of course did Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. So obviously we got to do Batman's Rogues Gallery tournament today.
Yes, and this was much easier.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Much easier. I can tell you that much when I was going through this stuff. But
Batman also had a 30-year head start on Spider-Man too.
True.
I mean, Batman came out in the late 1930s, and Spider-Man was in the mid to late 1960s. So,
well, we can't get into age.
Yeah, it's just a number. That's what Leonardo DiCaprio says.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But our first matchup here, we have Two-Face versus Owl Man, and so we are going by pretty much most iconic.
Yeah. So this is Two-Face easily.
Yeah.
I think a lot, unless you're a really deep Batman nerd like me, you might not even know who L-Man was or is.
Tash Al Ghul. I'm pretty sure I just butchered that name. And Man Bat.
This is a good matchup here because
It is.
Man Bat famously was the first villain in the animated series.
Yep. And
So
he's
that's why
also a good little side quest, and I think,
one of the Arkham games.
yeah, that are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, you got to catch him, and yeah, because you're trying to bring him back to the doctor he is. He's
If
sort
we
of the
We have time
lizard.
next episode. We should think about that. Who has the better video games?
Oh man. Oh, it would be. Oh wow, yeah. They have both
We're
of them
only
have
going to
some
have
good
a
ones.
little bit of time to go over talk about these,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Both of these are fairly iconic. I mean, she's Raish's daughter and the mother of Bruce Wayne's child. So you know what that means. Her Bruce bumps some uglies there.
yeah, he
Uh,
two people on this list. He's kind of
oh yeah,
Bruce gets around.
sure does.
You don't care if you're an enemy or not.
I get it, man. They wear all these tight clothes.
Enemies with benefits.
Yes, or frenemies with benefits. Yeah.
Your frenemies.
I think this is a toss up. Honestly,
There you go.
I'm leaning toward Man Bat just out of my love of the animated series.
Let's go with Man Bat then. Are you robbing a bank today or are you coming over? We got Joe Chill. If I'm so this is the man that killed
Batman's
Bruce-
parents.
Yep. And
Yeah.
the Scarecrow.
All right. So without Joe Chill, we technically don't get Batman, but I think in the big scheme of things, Scarecrow is beyond iconic.
Yeah.
So I'm going Scarecrow here. I mean, and he is incredible in those Batman Arkham games. So
Very disappointed that you did not make a Wizard of Oz joke.
he does not deserve that. He's just too good of a villain.
This is Hush. I want to say.
Yeah, it looks like Hush. Yeah, and Croc.
And Killer Croc.
Hush.
I think you probably know way more about Hush than I do. So.
Yeah, he's, if I'm remembering correctly, because there was a whole Batman story arc in the comics with Hush that I highly recommend. I got it somewhere in my comic book collection. And I think he ends up being like Bruce Wayne's best friend from when they were younger or something like that.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. But
reading something. Johnny's going off of memory. Just so if I correct Johnny, I'm the idiot that needs to read, and Johnny actually knows what he's talking about.
I'm a giant Batman nerd here, so I'm trying to earn my cred. And Killer Croc, though, to me, is the more iconic of the two. I think if you ask somebody to name a Batman villain out of these two, which one they're going to name before, it's Killer Croc would come out first, I think.
I would say Killer Croc also. Clayface and Solomon Grundy.
Oh, man. Now, this is a matchup right here. Like, I really want to see this fight.
One of my favorite things was Cartoon Network was doing a thing, and it was like they were kind of like dubbing over stuff, and one of it was the old superpowers. And somebody was like, one of the like, it was like the bad lip reading type deal.
Yeah.
One of the guys mentioned something about pants, and this still sticks in my head to this day whenever I hear Solomon Grundy, because out of nowhere, somebody does the Solomon Grundy voice. It was like, Solomon Grundy want pants too. And I don't know. And also going with it, Will mentioned this, and then we mentioned this. These are very similar. We got Solomon Grundy, and then you have Tombstone, who look very, very similar. But yeah, this is kind of.
But Solomon Grundy has a catchphrase though. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. You know.
Yeah.
So, but
and he also
again
pants too.
Yeah, and I mean he has pants in his picture. But I will say though, Clayface has the better storylines than Batman. I mean, those animated series, we watched them and reviewed them earlier on this show. They were really good. So I gotta go Clayface here.
Wasn't Solomon Grundy like murdered by the mob?
Again, it depends on which version. I mean, Batman's been around forever, and all these characters have so many different origins by now. But I believe that is one of those. Yeah. but he's a humongous man or what, or zombie, whatever you want to call him now.
I'll go Clayface.
Yeah, I think it's Clayface.
Uh, Killer Moth and Jason Todd.
Okay, Killer Moth is underrated, but you got to go for the Red Hood Jason Todd here. He does become a good guy eventually, more like a Punisher type character. But Jason Todd's got a very interesting backstory. Of course, he's the Robin at one point after
everybody voted to die.
That everybody
wanted. Am I correct on that?
You're very correct.
I remember as a kid
in the comics, they had a storyline set up where Joker was he had captured Jason Todd, and they left it up to the readers. Hey, vote yes or no.
Was it like you call the number and then all?
Yeah, does he die? And people said, "Yep."
This is what he's the second Robin,
right? Yeah.
So you got Dick Grayson all those years.
Yeah. And so
Dick Grayson's amazing. You and I both love Nightwing.
Yeah, Nightwing's is my ultimate favorite DC character. So yeah.
So Jason Todd came in and they were like, "Yeah, kill him. Maybe we can get good old Dick Grayson back."
Yeah. We all love Dick. We get it.
There we go. There's
yeah, I got you. Ring the bell, take a drink. I'm going to go Jason Todd here, though.
Okay. The Riddler versus the Court of Owls.
Okay, it's going to be the Riddler, but hear me out on the Court of Owls.
But the Court of Owls are very good.
When DC rebranded with the New 52, but thankfully that was right in the height of my comic book collecting, so I have all these. But it's when Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, I'm probably saying his last name wrong, who's doing the art, started on the Batman books, and they are by far my favorite Batman writer and artist put together. They're so incredible, and they created in the first books, the first villains he fought was the Court of Owls, and it's so good and so spooky and scary at the same time. God, they're so good because it's basically like literally a cult of like higher standing individuals, and you don't know who they are because they're all hiding behind masks, and there's a bunch of them. But then you have the Riddler, who is going just on the icons. It's Riddler.
Next up, Bane versus the Joker. This is kind of unfair.
It's unfair to Bane.
It is.
Who, again, just like in the movies, is getting the shaft here.
So as I'm doing as I'm going through and I'm doing this, I just realized DC and like the 90s was like, nope, your childhood heroes need to be destroyed. Superman, yes, you need to die. Batman, you're getting your ass broken, okay, buddy? Your back broken. And Bane,
to this day, that's an iconic comic book for me that I saw in a Food Line grocery store back when they would carry comic books, and it was just Bane literally bending Batman over his humongous knee. And I was like, I have to find out what this is about. And if you actually read the story about Bane, he's not just a big brute. He's actually incredibly intelligent, and he had softened Batman up by sending a bunch of villains after him before he even got to fight Bane. So Bane's also a master tactician on top of it. Yeah. I'm trying to give Bane all his flowers because Joker's winning this.
Yeah. Also, I don't think Bane's been 100% like awesomely represented in the movies.
Right. I do think that, well, it's not even fair because in the original movie that he's in, he's just a big idiot.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like.
Yeah, I hated that. At least in the Nolan verse, he's at least more of a fleshed out character a little bit more, but still I wanted more Bane. He's basically like a lap boy in that too. But yeah, that's not who he is. He's out to take out Batman because he's sort of like the ultimate prey and he wants to take him out. But it's Joker's winning this. I mean, don't even need to say it.
Nope. Two-Face versus Man-Bat. I think Two-Face.
It's Two-Face. Yeah. Don't even need to flip a coin there.
Nope. Oh, that'd be cool. Why didn't we flip a coin? Scarecrow versus Killer Croc.
If we're as brave as I say we are, we should have flipped the coin back there. And whatever happens, Scarecrow for me here.
Yeah. Now that I'm looking back, because first kind of Batman media on TV for me, other than like, well, there was the cartoon which had Scarecrow, but like live action Batman,
Hmm.
obvious, is Adam West.
Yeah.
And there was, as far as I can remember, there was no Scarecrow. As iconic as he is, you had what, King Tut, an egg,
An
head,
egghead,
yeah, an
egghead or
egghead,
eggman. I can't remember his. Yeah,
yeah, but no,
I think he might have been too scary for that show.
yeah,
Which is funny because they had the Joker on there but it's obviously a very cartoony version of Joker.
yes, and he played baseball in the
Yes,
prison.
fantastic mustache.
He's
Clayface
a top
tickling.
Joker. I think he's the most underrated Joker. Caesar
I absolutely love him.
and the guy that played the Riddler. Those guys were. If you,
Oh yeah.
I wish I could find it because I wish we could review it. Is the 1960s Batman movie?
Oh, the one with the beginning of it. He has to have the Batman shark repellent
Yes,
to get the shark off of him.
that
And he's running with the bomb, and there's nuns everywhere.
that we saved up Video Factory dollars so my dad didn't have to pay to rent it, and I watched that thing all weekend long. But our next matchup is Clayface versus Jason Todd.
It's Clayface. Yeah.
Or Jason Todd. Riddler versus
Oh my God. Talk about a showdown. This is an ultimate one here. Riddler taking on this, getting this in the early rounds. This
yeah.
could have, in an alternate reality, been our last two, really.
Just
man.
to clarify, I just
Randomly put these together. Yeah.
fill in slot. It's a random thing.
Yeah. That's my sex life. I want to go.
We're going Joker.
Joker. Yeah. Joker wins, but this is good God, what an iconic battle here.
And then
oh man, oh my God.
Bro.
All right. Now I think a lot of people are going to go Two-Face. I'm going Scarecrow on this.
I think it's Scarecrow.
He's a much more disturbing villain, in my opinion.
Scarecrow.
Okay. Yeah.
As good as Clayface versus Joker. Joker.
Yeah.
And Scarecrow versus.
Oh man.
I gotta go Joker.
It's Joker. But another reason that Scarecrow to me is such a wild and underrated villain in Batman is because he's actually incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
And he's not, and I don't think there's that, and he's doing stuff on purpose, if you know what I mean. Like everything he does seems like when he's trying to see people's fears and study it, there's something more creepier about that to me. Joker's just absolute madness.
I like the Joker.
It's Joker for here, though. No. All right, we're on the other side.
Oh my goodness! Why did they do this to us?
Oh man,
Mr. Freeze versus the Penguin.
Okay, man, I have complete biasness here, and I'm going to go ahead and admit it. My favorite villain in Batman is Mr. Freeze, so he's going to win for me here. But Mr. Cobblepot should not be underrated. I mean, both these are iconic, and in my opinion, the Danny DeVito Penguin is also severely underrated.
Yes,
he was so good as a Penguin. Oh man, he was really creepy. Yes,
yeah. Trained Rocky and also tried to kill Batman all in one career. Shout out to Burgess Meredith.
That's right.
Oh, and was the father in Grumpy Old Men.
That
had bacon for lunch. And a bacon sandwich. Another great movie. I will give this to you because I have a feeling I might fight you later on.
All right. Well, Mr. Freeze also, to me, has a more tragic and interesting backstory. So,
and he has never been well represented like he was in the animated series when it comes to movies.
I will say he's pretty good in the Arkham games, but the animated series is where you need to get his story for sure.
I like they don't really say his story, but in the '60s Batman, I thought he was pretty cool with certain things. Like
I'll see what you did there. He's pretty cool.
oh, I did not mean to do. I'm moving on.
He's very
moves on.
He's very chill.
Ventriloquist versus Dr. Hugo Strange.
All right, this is another good matchup, but I think just on a creepy level, I'm going to with the ventriloquist.
I will go with the ventriloquist too, just because another great animated series thing that really expands you.
And it's really actually tragic because the guy behind the ventriloquist is like he feels like he's trapped. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Carmine Falcone and Catwoman.
It's Catwoman. Another one that Bruce Wayne kind of, I don't know. Uh-huh.
Deathstroke versus Harley Quinn.
This is not fair to Deathstroke because he is actually a really great villain, but it's Harley Quinn.
I'm kind of like letting Johnny take over. Zaz, who I thought was amazing in the TV show Gotham, versus KG Beast, because you know how I love my Cold War, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, we all do. Yeah. Get under the desk. It's Zaz. Literally, all the marks on his body is from a person that he's murdered. So I gotta get that with that maniac.
Go with Zaz over KG Beast. Calendar Man versus the Mad Hatter. So,
oh man, I love this matchup.
I know this is probably one of the most even ones that we had. I'm more biased towards the Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter's winning. I agree.
Just because I cared less about the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland. And then I discovered the Mad Hatter through like the animated series.
Yeah.
To the point where when I went to Disney World, I bought a Mad Hatter's hat because and it wasn't for Alice in Wonderland. It was because of the Batman villain, which I thought was absolutely cool. I mean, Killer Man's okay. I do believe that's who they were pinning on. What was it? The last thing I read of Batman, and it's older than dirt, was the long Halloween.
Yes, yeah.
And that's pretty much who they were pinning all the stuff on was Calendar Man. But
yeah,
I gotta go Mad Hatter.
Also, Mad Hatter is just a better name.
Yeah,
than Calendar Man.
Poison Ivy versus Deadshot.
I mean, Poison Ivy is by far the most iconic out of these two.
Yep. Ra's al Ghul versus Condiment King.
All right, hear me out.
No, I will hear you out, but the answer is already no. Just like
the answer is honest
for money. The answer is already no, but I will hear you
out. Andrew, you be brave. We're a brave podcast.
I cannot.
Which is scarier? A man who can seemingly live forever if he keeps dropping himself in a pit,
and a deadly assassin,
or I submit to you, a crazed man who has guns that are filled with mustard and ketchup.
If this is who I would rather bring to a cookout, Condiment King all the way.
It's Condiment King. Is this what it is?
Ra's al Ghul would probably do some cool party tricks, but I don't think Ra's al Ghul would be much fun at a cookout. Condiment King, on the other hand, he's got the ketchup, he's got the mustard. But since we are going most iconic, and
we're going most iconic. It's obviously, and since I'm running this show, it's Condiment King.
Good thing I did. Good thing we ought to.
He's got like a pickle on his head, Andrew.
I didn't even look at the picture again. I was done. I was done listening to it.
I can't believe that you're such a wuss that you would not back me up on the Condiment King moving forward.
This is how much I value my friendship with Johnny. That was his one request. He was like, I'm pretty sure you'll find it's the guy that I left out.
Out of all the villains in Batman's Rogues Gallery, I did tell Andrew the only one I want to make sure you have is Condiment King.
And the one that I did leave out that probably would have been better in that position is Gentleman Ghost.
No, it's Condiment King all the way. You made a smart decision there, my friend.
I'll send you the link when we're done, Johnny, so that way you just do this.
You backed the right horse in this case, is all I'm going to tell you.
Oh,
that really was my one request.
that was like not even one for Spider-Man. Not even like, hey, I want this guy as Spider-Man.
I went out of my way to tell you, hey, make sure you have Condiment King.
I think he told me twice.
Yes, you gotta make sure he's here. He doesn't get the love he deserves.
Good old Condiment King. uh, Mr. Freeze versus Ventriloquist.
This is it's Mr. Freeze for sure. Yeah.
Catwoman versus Harley Quinn.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that because you're looking at the picture of Catwoman?
Well, both of them are very attractive. Oh man, this is tough.
It's Catwoman.
I don't know, man.
State your case. but you came up with one so quick for Condiment King, but you can't go.
My case for Harley would be that she starts out as a psychologist, right? Who loses her mind and falls in love, like legit love, with the Joker of all people, who is not capable of remotely ever, because she's actually fairly tragic of a character.
Yeah, but if we're going iconic, it's Catwoman.
Dude, I don't know. I'm telling you, when the animated series came out and Harley Quinn was invented, she just started with a rocket on her incredible butt cheeks, and she started
going. Yeah, she's become a pretty.
And I think if you go by today, this is way closer of a matchup than you think. If you would have asked in like the 80s, early 90s, Catwoman easily, but today this is a closer toss-up to me. I'm okay with Catwoman moving on, but I just want to say this is a really close matchup.
It wouldn't be us if we didn't do this. Harley Quinn for the win. Then Zaz
versus and the Mad Hatter.
I gotta go Mad Hatter. I really love the Mad Hatter.
I do too. He's got a special place in my soul because animated series. So I'm agreeing with you, Mad Hatter.
Ra's al Ghul or Poison Ivy. This is. I think a lot of people don't realize this is closer than what you think it is.
Right? Yeah, I would agree. Man.
I'm almost leaning towards Ra's al Ghul.
I'm going to lean toward Ra's because it's not just him you're fighting. You're also fighting all his ninjas. So.
Oh, geez. Johnny mentioned ninjas.
Got to mention ninjas, man. Ninjas rule.
Mr. Freeze or Harley Quinn?
Mr. Freeze.
Mad Hatter or Ra's al Ghul?
It's Ra's, yeah. Here we go. Mr.
Freeze or Ra's al Ghul? I will go Mr. Freeze on this one.
All right. Thankfully, I didn't have to argue with you on this, Mr. Freeze.
And then for the win, the Joker or Mr. Freeze?
I am happy that Mr. Freeze made it this far. And I think this is a very close battle. But just based on icon status alone, if you ask somebody, hey, name me a villain in pop culture,
yeah,
I think Joker's literally going to make top 3 easily. I think you got Darth Vader, you got Joker, and probably Skeletor. I'm going
to Lex Luthor. I was trying to say Luger and Luthor at the same time. Lex Luthor in there too. I think he's a very underrated that has been portrayed well in a lot of things other than say like the newer Justice League.
Right, yeah.
What else was there? There was something really good with him. Oh, yeah. I was thinking, something really good with him just recently, but it was the Superman movie when Gene Hackman played him, which wasn't that recent.
Hackman. Yeah. I just keep thinking of the South Park with that. The Joker wins.
Yeah. So That is it. Joker for the win.
I think most people knew that going in, but
Yeah.
it's still fun revisiting some of these villains in Batman's Rogues Gallery.
Hey, I think it's more or less the smaller matchups at the end.
I agree. Yeah.
So, but
And and we've proven with our Venom versus Jay Jonah that you don't know which way we're going to go.
no, I could almost your argument was good for good old Harley over Catwoman. Plus two, Harley's always been an enemy, as far as I know.
Um, even in the animated series, Batman sort of has a soft spot for her. If you
But
notice, because I think he feels bad for her.
but
There's a very
so-
famous episode where her and Poison Ivy
they
are
get-
on a shopping spree. It's a
yeah,
Christmas episode, if I'm thinking correctly. And Batman actually he actually goes out of his way to help her a lot of the times.
but I'm saying though, like she's always trying to take out Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Catwoman-
Catwoman kind of from the beginning is it's sort of known that she's attracted. And the feeling's fairly mutual.
but it wouldn't be something good if we didn't.
Yeah, I've never once felt like Catwoman was trying to kill Batman. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, where Harley Quinn's like always, because you figure if Harley Quinn kills Batman, she might get some type of reaction from the Joker towards her.
Yeah. Well, he was always abusive toward her anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, he's not a nice guy.
No.
But next week we will discuss probably briefly who we think is better. And then we could probably get into the Rogues Gallery, like which one do we like more? And then I don't know, just kind of talk about more Red Batman, Spider-Man. Like I said, maybe we'll get into who had the better video game. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'll try to think. I think I'll try to think of like some fun battles between the two Rogues Galleries. I can think of some matchups I'd want to see. Maybe book my own wrestling card with Spider-Man v Batman Rogues Gallery of villains. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Because then after that we get into our Spider-Man animated series.
Yes.
And then we're gonna watch the Batman movie from 1989. But that is it. Check us out wherever you get your podcast, Facebook, YouTube. These two ones, the Batman Rogues Gallery and the Spider-Man Rogue Gallery. There will be video posted for these as well. So check that out. I got nothing else, Johnny. Got anything?
Yeah, I just want to point out real quick before we end this that you should really relish the chance to look up and catch up on all the information you can with the Condiment King,
Well,
or you won't cut the mustard.
stay cool out there.